March 13, 2024. Should never have come to this. What's next as Henry steps down in Haiti? After nearly 2 weeks of heightened gang violence and instability, millions of Haitians woke up to the news that Ariel Henry has pledged to resign as the country's prime minister. The announcement came late on Monday after the United States urged him to step aside and usher in a transitional political process to stem the unrest. Haitian civil society leaders welcomed the resignation of Henry, an unelected leader who was named to his post in 2021 shortly before the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse, as a long overdue step. But many are now questioning what comes next. For years, the country has been plagued by corrupt leaders, failed state institutions and violence wrought by rival armed groups, and federal elections have not been held. First of all, we have to say that we think this is a good thing, Rosie Augusta Dussina, a lawyer and program director at Haiti's National Human Rights Defense Network, RNDDH, said of the Prime Minister stepping down. Yet Dussina told Al Jazeera in a phone interview from Port-au-Prince on Tuesday morning that his announcement did little to stem the anxiety and fear on the ground. The West Department, which encompasses the capital city, remained very tense after days of gang violence, she said. The streets continue to be empty. Since late February, Haitian armed groups have launched attacks on police, prisons, and other state institutions. The main airport in Port-au-Prince has been shut down, and residents have been afraid to leave their homes to get water, food, and other supplies. Today again, we have the impression that the West Department is holding its breath because we don't really know what's going to happen, Dussina added. Transitional Council. The answer to that question, what happens next, remains unclear. The leaders of Haiti's armed groups, one of whom had said the country would face a civil war if Henry did not resign, have yet to comment on the Prime Minister's announcement. But it appears unlikely that Henry's promise to step down after a transitional presidential council and his replacement are chosen will be enough to get the groups to lay down their arms. Jimmy Cherizier, a former police officer known as Barbecue who leads Haiti's powerful G9 gang alliance, said before Henry's statement that he rejected any proposed solution led by the international community. The resignation came after a group of Caribbean nations known as CARICOM held an emergency meeting on Monday to set out the terms of Henry's departure, which will come into effect after the establishment of a transitional presidential council and the naming of an interim prime minister. Jake Johnston, a Haiti expert and senior research associate at the Center for Economic and Policy Research, CEPR, in Washington, D.C., said CARICOM's announcement is unlikely to lead to a solution to the current crisis by itself. After criticizing Henry for relying on the support of the U.S. and other foreign powers, an agreement pushed by those same foreign powers is likely to face legitimacy concerns from the moment it forms, Johnston wrote on Tuesday in a post to CEPR's website. Though negotiations have been taking place for the better part of a week, none of the participants or discussions has been made public, leaving the vast majority of Haitians in the dark. According to CARICOM's statement, the Transitional Council will be composed of 7 voting members picked from across Haitian society, including the private sector and various political factions. 2 non-voting members will also be chosen, from civil society and religious groups. U.S. Department of State spokesman Matthew Miller told reporters on Tuesday afternoon that Washington expects the members of the council to be appointed within 24 to 48 hours. And then they will take the step to appoint an interim prime minister in the near future after that, Miller said. But CARICOM's statement tied participation in the process to support for a proposed international security mission to Haiti, led by Kenya and backed by the United Nations. CARICOM indicated that anyone opposed to the Kenya-led mission would be excluded from the Transitional Council, raising more questions about who is dictating the country's political transition. Some Haitian civil society leaders have previously raised concerns about the prospect of a multinational force in Haiti, stressing that safeguards need to be in place to avoid crises wrought by past foreign interventions. Please like, share, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be the first to be notified whenever we post. You won't regret it.